What's up, everyone? It's your boy Danny Vega, aka Danny V, and WandaVision episode 7 just dropped this past weekend. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something. Have you ever had something that you were definite, like you're like, I'm not gonna like this, and then all of a sudden you try it and you're just like, that's how I felt about this episode. This episode is probably my favorite of the WandaVision series. Let's talk about it. Now, before we start this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell button for more future videos. And also, when you click that bell button, make sure to click all, because if not, you won't get any notifications of my videos. I just found that out about my favorite subscribers, and I just switched it from personalized to all. So if you do me that big favor, you'll get all my content ASAP right direct to your notifications. Now, before we start this video, guys, remember this video has spoilers. So if you do not want anything spoiled for you, please do not watch this video. Bye, shoo, leave. Deuces. Deuce. So if you watch some of my previous videos, you know a couple of my theories, and you know when I'm right, I like to do a little happy dance. And I was right about a lot of things. So guess what? Here we go. And no, I'm not talking about my leaked video. Listen, if you guys hate the leaked video, I do apologize. So here's my apology.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
So let's just jump right into it. Holy smokes. WandaVision episode 7. Man, it's everything I wanted and more. We finally got some answers. Thank goodness. But let's just start from the beginning. Man, the whole thing of having it into like The Office, Parks and Rec, and Modern Family, like that film style of like looking into the camera and zooming in. Oh my God. That whole style of all three shows is just up my alley, man. So I was hooked real quick. And then you get the opener of WandaVision in The Office. Telling my girlfriend, I was just like, isn't that The Office? She's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's The Office. A lot of people were saying, hey, maybe John Krasinski will be in it. God damn it, I said theories are for later. And I love that the whole show is in full screen, but like when you go into present day, it's that widescreen, like theatrical view. And then when you go into the show, it's all full screen, just like in those shows. I mean, it's so good. And then not only that, they've really emphasized this, like when you see Vision, it's in close into the widescreen, and then all of a sudden it goes into full screen, which is amazing because at the end of the episode, it goes from full screen, it goes from full screen to widescreen, which is amazing. So is that telling us that WandaVision is like over because the signal, they said the broadcast is over? Are they going to just go away from that, and now these last couple of episodes are going to be just modern day theatrical view? So let's just jump right into the things that I was right about. I was right about Hayward wanting to use Vision as a weapon. If you saw my last video, I said he felt very General Thunderbolt Ross to me, and that he's probably taking Vision and trying to use him as a weapon, and bing, I was correct. Another thing, I said in one of my videos that that truck would turn into a Tonka truck. While it didn't turn into a Tonka truck, it did get manipulated and turned into this weird looking combobulation of a truck. But I laughed because I was like, called that too. And I also called the big reveal. Agnes is Agatha Harkness. Everybody on the internet called that. I'm not special. Everyone called it, and it ended up being true. But not only that, it was just such a fantastic reveal. It was so good, and I love it had the little jingle with it. It reminded me of the song that's like because it was just like Agnes all along, you know. Oh my God. Please, if you know what that song is, please write it down in the comments, because I totally forgot the name of it. A lot of it made sense. You see that Agnes was manipulating a lot of things, and what I was correct about is how when Agnes, in my other video, I said that she was like, you want me to hold those babies, and she put it in Wanda's mind, and that's when Wanda's like, you know what, Vision, let Agnes hold the babies. I was like, oh, I called that one. The big question is that did Wanda do the hex, and then Agatha came because of the hex, and was just like, all right, I'm going to use this power to, you know, manipulate this poor girl in her reality? Or was Wanda just chillaxing in a house and then Agnes created this? I kind of think, like in my leaked video, what they said in the leak was that Wanda tries to repair Vision, and then all of a sudden she accidentally creates this dimension. And that makes total sense. So I'm like, man, let's see where this goes. But she did get everything she wanted, and I am so excited about this episode because it does creep into the House of M. House of M confirmed. Because this whole time, Wanda's freaking out. She's like, I have no idea what's happening. And obviously, there's Agnes behind it. But now the boys' fate. You know, I know a lot of people disagree with me about the Young Avengers. I just don't want Disney to be like, oh, all right, now all the Avengers are kids. We're going to target kids. Forget all the adults. Just kids. I just don't want that. That's why I'm saying this too soon. I'd rather have more of the adults. Or if you're going to do the Young Avengers as a kids thing, then fuck it. Put it as the kids section. Whatever. As long as we still get action-packed stuff for us big kids. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch it. Obviously, I may enjoy it, but whatever. If you watched any of my other videos, you know that I love comic book integrity. I said that I have to watch it as a comic book goer and also as a movie goer. Dude, if they keep the integrity of the comic book and these boys are going to die and Mephisto comes in, whoo, I'll be jumping over the moon. I am telling you, I am like, oh my gosh, because remember, when she remembers that Agnes wiped her memory, she kills Agnes and goes off the woohoo, or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs like Agnes said in the show. She loses her mind, and then we get the House of M. Again, I'm just spitballing here, but still. Like, I'm very excited that we may get Mephisto, and I know a lot of people were saying, well, overseas, the whole thing about not having the devil because of superstitions, yada, yada, yada. They could obviously combine Mephisto and Nightmare, or it could just be Nightmare or just Mephisto. I don't know, but all I know is the way it's going right now, especially they show that book, I think his nickname is the Book of Sins and it has other names of it. Because of that, it definitely could be Mephisto coming in, or even Nicholas Scratch. Either which way, fantastic. We still didn't get to see who the engineer is. There's a lot of speculation about that. And god damn it, I keep doing it with the theories. Oh well, I'm just gonna go with it. So a lot of people think that could be Reed Richards still, and it would be fantastic because remember, Agnes is a Fantastic Four villain. It would make sense to have the Fantastic Four come in one way or another. I'm just excited to see where it's going. Dude, another thing that made me laugh really, really hard was the Ross's I'm fine in WandaVision. When she was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It reminded me of when Ross was like, I'm fine. And he was not fine. Oh my gosh. I laughed really hard. I was like, I can't believe it. I hope that was a callback to Friends because, man, that was fantastic. It just reminded me of that. Speaking of not fine, man, New Rockstars called the whole NEXUS antidepressant commercial. I was like, there is no way. And sure enough, so congrats if you guys see this. Obviously, I'm nobody. But if you guys see this, dude, Eric Voss, congrats, man. That was unbelievable. I was so shocked. I was like, holy shit. But the whole NEXUS thing, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, NEXUS is like a gateway. It's like a portal to multiverses. So maybe Agatha's using NEXUS again to bring Mephisto or Nicholas Scratch or somebody else. But all I know is I was like, man, this keeps creeping along. So my favorite story, House of M confirmed. And obviously NEXUS could be the whole multiverse of madness thing leading up to Doctor Strange. I love it. This episode changed my mind on everything. Dude, Monica Rambeau's powers. Loved it. Going through the hex. She has all the memories of like her as a little girl talking to her mom. And then, you know, they're having this whole dialogue. And then right at the end, when she hears Captain Marvel's voice saying about how her mom's lucky to have the toughest little girl. And she was like, I don't know if that was motivation, like, I hate you, and just like push forward. Because remember, when they mentioned Captain Marvel, she's like, we ain't talking about Captain Marvel. Or if it was like the motivation that she needed, like a good motivation from Captain Marvel, which either which way is great. But I was just like, she's angry. She's a little angry. And then her powers, wow, her eyes glow blue. Her POV was amazing. It was like all wavy and different colors, reminded me of my last trip. Wanda versus Photon, I was ready. I was pumped. I was like, yo, especially that Wanda slammed her and she's like, nope. I think that's really cool. And also that makes me wonder because remember, I don't know if it's a continuity error or if it's actually like Photon's powers to change the color of her eyes. But when she opened the doors and she saw all the energy, the purple magic that was all in Agnes's basement, her eyes were glowing purple. And then when she looked at Quicksilver, her eyes were glowing purple. So I don't think Photon is under control. I think that that's her looking at it, but I could be wrong. I love the buildup, especially that Vision thinks it's Wanda that's keeping him from coming home, but obviously it's really Agnes that's trying to stop it. But not only that, Vision's getting all the information from Darcy of like who he was, what happened. And I love that he's just like, to me, it sounds like it happened to somebody else. But to Wanda, it was just a few weeks ago that all this tragedy happened. And then not only was it just a few weeks ago, remember, Wanda killed him, then had him watch him die, then got snapped, then came back. And that she thought in her time frame, that's a matter of weeks. But remember, the snap, she was gone for years. So again, poor girl, as I said in all this other things. But I love the build up with Vision, especially that Darcy's like, well, one thing is for sure, that you guys love each other. So if Agnes, because you know, Agatha put the spell on her, like when her eyes glow purple, is she going to take control of Wanda? And then Vision comes in and love breaks the spell like every Disney movie. Even though it's still cliche, if that does happen, that's pretty awesome, man, because that whole buildup of their connection is the whole point. So I love that. And then Evan Peters showing up, and this is where I want to tell people that my friend David was kind of correct. Evan Peters was not in the episode at all, but guess who showed up? The mailman. The mailman and Evan Peters are never in the same place. So the whole thing with that, the mailman showed up the entire episode, Evan Peters wasn't there until the post-credit scene. Evan Peters shows up, no mailman around. And then plus the mailman follows Agnes and Wanda when they're walking along, which is great. And plus we see Dottie for the first time in a long time. So who is Dottie? I don't know. If you guys know, put it down below. All right, so now it's time for some theories. Like I said, the whole thing with the mailman, my friend David, I think is correct and is onto something about that. So that was a good one. Another theory was that Al Pacino might be the big actor that Paul Bettany was talking about and is Mephisto. My God. And the whole thing on the internet, with, if you go through some articles, is that Paul Bettany always wanted to work with like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and I think one other actor. So this whole thing about the secret actor he's always wanted to work with could be one of those. But the only person that ever referenced Marvel was Pacino. Pacino met with Kevin Feige. He also, on an interview, he was talking about a James Gunn Marvel movie. Obviously that's Guardians. But he was just like, why wouldn't I be interested in that movie? He goes, I'm not saying I'm going to be in it, but why wouldn't I be interested in those types of movies? And then when he was asked about Marvel, his phone rings and then he's like, every time we talk about Marvel, dude, I'm telling you, if Al Pacino is Mephisto and shows up, because we know he already played the devil in Devil's Advocate, but oh my God, to me, that is Luke Skywalker level of actors, okay? I know they were saying about a vet from the past of Marvel, but we already got that with Evan Peters. But man, if Pacino is there, that is God tier. Like, Pacino is a legendary actor. Some of my favorite movies, especially The Godfather. Are we serious right now? Donnie Brasco, Devil's Advocate, Heat, and so many other great movies. I mean, come on. Dude, I'm telling you, to me, that's Skywalker level, and I would absolutely love that. But then someone said this too, because of the book and because of Mephisto, could that bring, if you want to go with a Marvel vet, I know this is a stretch, but someone just mentioned it to me. If Ghost Rider shows up and is Nicolas Cage, I know that some people don't like those movies, but man, I would be hyped. I'd be like, oh shoot! Like I said, this episode has changed my mind so much, because even with the leaked video, there's so many things that are on paper that you look at it and you're like, I don't think that's gonna work, and it actually does. And then vice versa, there's some things that are on paper that are like, man, this should work, and it doesn't, and it bombs. That was the reason why for my reaction last time. I'm telling you, man, I really do dig where Marvel is going with this now. I'm so excited. If it wasn't for this episode, I'm telling you, I would still have the views that I had. And those are my thoughts, guys. Listen, I love all the feedback. Man, just keep commenting below. Tell me what you think. What are your theories? Where do you think this is going? Do you like episode 7? Do you like where this is going? Remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell button for all my future videos. Love ya. Talk to you soon.